Hi, my name is Omphile Rapoo, and I was born in Zerust, small village in Zerust called the Huruti. Then I moved to Rustenburg with the age of 3, so I don't really have much information about Zerust and whatnot. In my moving to Rustenburg, I found that I was not really the most, what can I say, not really the most confident of people. In fact, I was quite a shy boy, coming from a lot of bullying and stuff like that. And Rustenburg is where I found my calling. Upon going through many journeys of life and many friends and bad experiences, I ended up going to a school called Lebone in Puking. And Lebone was basically my safe haven because that's where I started doing dramatic arts in grade 10. Upon doing dramatic arts, or choosing the subject dramatic arts, I then decided I'm gonna go to study this further. After fighting constantly with my parents, you know how we black people, a lot of black people say that, is there money in acting? Is there money in performance? And I had that fight, and I fought that fight for quite a while, until eventually my parents opened up to the idea of me studying dramatic arts at Wits. That was a mistake. After getting to Wits, I then realized that I don't really want to be on stage. Honestly speaking, I don't want to be on stage. In fact, I want to be on TV. I want to do TV work. And Wits was a lot of dialogue, just like a lot of reading, and I was not really about that life. And then I moved on to AFDA in 2011. When I got to AFDA, my life became, I guess, the start of my journey actually began because a friend of mine introduced me to another friend of his where there was an audition for Mzansi Magic. At the time, Mzansi Magic was not even like a thing. It was just starting up. I went to my auditions in the morning, and it didn't even last like 10 seconds. I just went up there, said a line or two, and then they were like, okay, cool. Got it. You'll hear from us. And then I obviously thought that there was never going to be a chance that I'm going to be a part of that movie. But a couple of days later, they called me, and boom, I had the role, and it was my first big acting gig, besides little short films at AFDA. Then that just changed into something completely different. From there, I went into editing, and I edited at Urban Brew for quite a bit. I edited a couple of movies. I did 5 movies from Mzansi Magic, and then I acted on a couple of things for Benelanders, as well as another one, SABC3, I forget. But that was not it. Eventually, I had to come back to Rustenburg, and when I got to Rustenburg, while I was visiting my parents and looking for another job for like a week or two, I got a call to come and talk to one of my principals, who was a CEO at that time. And that's how I actually got into teaching. I never thought I'd ever be a teacher. In fact, I hated teaching because my parents were teachers. Somehow I fell in love with it for a couple of years, and this is where it got interesting. I never knew that my love for film and my love for acting and my love for editing will come together with my love for teaching to create this whole new career that I'm in. When I started teaching, I met somebody by the name of Misha Robinson from the United States, and then she was just a person that was from the United States, and I met her through a friend. And then somehow she then said to me that she was starting a film festival, and she heard that I was into film, and then she said she wants to do films for kids. Okay, I then shot the movie out of just pure passion for the specific film festival that she was doing. Little did I know that was the start of a whole new different situation. Misha introduced me to another lady called Nuella, who then took the film and took it to the States, and it won at a film festival. That was when I knew that I was onto something. From there, I've shot about 6-7 other films, short films, with students, one of which is 3 of which were nominated for film awards in New York, and one of which is currently going to show in September at the first, no, not the first, for the first time at the Rustenburg Film Festival. So that is basically my journey in terms of like how I got to doing what I'm doing now. Cool. So what films have I shot? The first film that I shot was Mampara, where I was acting in Mampara, and I was the guy who was being bullied, that turned into a bully. Quite a dope experience. People stop me out on the road today who are like 18, 19, talking about, I used to watch you when I was young. So that was quite a dope experience. I also edited 5 films for Mzansi Magic. The 5 films being Trouble with My Father, Bring Aya Home, Confidence, Guess I'm a Boss, Viva Gomorrah. Yeah, quite an interesting journey there. My first major pressure ever in the workplace, my first actual job coming out of Varsity was those 5 films, and I was thrown just into that. But my biggest prizes, my biggest joys that I've created with my kids is, first of all, the first film, I Have Something to Tell You, which won the award at the Black Star Film Festival. That one is definitely one of my most favorite, because it really took me from a place where I thought I would not come back to, and then took me on a journey to get back to where I was supposed to be, because I worked with a lot of the kids a lot of the times within the classroom from when they were still in grade 8 until the time they were in grade 11 and 12. So the kids that I worked with in that movie are really extremely close to me, and I really have a special place in my heart with that movie. Then we shot 7 Wasted Hours, we shot Plummeting Hope. The next movie, which is the most recent movie, was Find Me by the River, which is a bigger project, the longest movie that we've ever shot, being 47 minutes, about bullying. And I really, just like I said earlier, that I have a history with bullying. I know what it feels like, and I don't ever want to wish that feeling on any child, especially the kids that don't have a support structure at home, because bullying can really destroy you as a person, and make you the person that you were never meant to be. So that movie is really cool, dedicated to Lufuno, who was bullied and unfortunately killed herself in school. Yeah, anti-suicide movie, dope one. And then the most current film that we're shooting is Rainbows, and like I said, definitely something to look forward to.